Tonight, Lobo and Momoa, Gold Leader remembered, Colm Meany and Warwick Davis honored, plus the tragedy in California. All that and more in this edition of Multiverse. Tonight! Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 231 of Multiverse Tonight. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. And, well, it's been snowy. Let's say that. I've had probably 6 inches at least, of the white stuff, and we're getting a few days of meltdown before our next storm system comes in. Hopefully, the next storm system will be light, but who knows? If you're watching on video, you may notice that I have a little problem with my teeth right now. The cap on one of my front teeth came out while I was eating a few days ago. Yeah, that wasn't a very good day. I got turned down for a job, lost the cap on my tooth, so you know it took me a few days to get back to good, if you will. But life goes on. At least I know I'll be getting a bonus at the end of the month. Probably on the March check. And hopefully this year's raise will be something better than just 2 measly percent. Come on, people. I need something better than 2%. Inflation's rising faster than 2%. Anyway, we do have some news for you today, so let's start with the DC Comics news. And we begin DC Comics news with Jason Momoa, star of DC's Aquaman films, being given a new role to play as Lobo in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This has been confirmed by Deadline.com. Now, Momoa has been linked to the Lobo role since before James Gunn came in to lead DC alongside Pierce Safran, and has been vocal in the past about his interest in the part, saying, quote, "I collect comics, and I don't do so much anymore, but it was always my favorite, and I always wanted to play Lobo because I'm like, hello, it's the perfect role." Jason Momoa went on to say that should DC come around to ask him to play Lobo, it would be, of course, a bleep, yeah. Alongside the Instagram shot, Momoa posted the caption this morning that reads, "They called." Now, first introduced in Omega Men #3 in June of 1983, Lobo is an anti-hero known for his violent and irreverent personality who hails from the planet Sarnia. Lobo possesses superhuman strength, regenerative abilities, and invulnerability that makes him a formidable opponent. Created by writer Roger Sliffer and artist Keith Geffen, the character often is depicted as a bounty hunter who enjoys chaos and destruction. Plot details for the new Supergirl are, of course, under wraps, but as previously reported, House of the Dragon's Millie Alcock landed the title role after a long search, with Matthias Schoenaerts boarding as the villain Krem of the Yellow Hill. More recently, Eve Ridley has come on to play the part of Ruthie Mary Knoll. Craig Gillespie will direct from a script by Anna Nagura. The project is based on Tom King's 2022 comic book series Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which Bill Quist heavily illustrated. DC bosses Gunn and Safran will produce, with DC EVP Chantal Nong executive producing. Production kicks off on January 13th. Hopefully. And so that's all for DC news. Let's go on to the Star Wars news.
Roger, Roger.
Star Wars news begins with a major figure that fans of the original Star Wars know well, who has passed away. Actor Agnes McGinnis died December 23rd. Although the name may not be immediately recognizable, Star Wars fans might know him as Gold Leader from 1977's Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. News of Angus McGinnis' death has been confirmed by his family, who posted a statement on social media. McGinnis' family revealed that the Canadian actor died on December 23rd and, quote, left us peacefully surrounded by his family and love. His work touched countless lives, and he took great pride in being part of these stories that continue to resonate with audiences worldwide. For Angus, the fans of Star Wars held a special place in his heart. He loved meeting you at conventions, hearing your stories, and sharing in your passion for the saga. He was continually humbled, delighted, and honored by the admiration and passion of the fans and convention community. Unquote. Now, McGinnis' Gold Leader character was credited with this title in the original film, but would later be given the call sign Dutch, and eventually a full name in the Star Wars canon, John Vander. Gold Leader played a pivotal role in the attack on the Death Star in the first movie. McGinnis reprised his role for 2016's Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which used archive footage of his character from the first film, though he did record a new line. The character would return to Star Wars in the animated series Star Wars Rebels, where he interacted with fan favorite Hera Syndulla. McGinnis wouldn't return to appear as the character, but was instead voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. In addition to his appearance in Star Wars, McGinnis had an extensive career on the big screen with 80 credits to his name. The first film that McGinnis appeared in was in Norman Jewson's dystopian classic Rollerball, which gave way to multiple appearances across the sci-fi genre, including an episode of Space 1999, Superman 2, Judge Dredd, and Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy. And with that, let's go on to the Star Trek news. And Star Trek news begins with actor Colm Meany, who has entertained audiences for more than half a century. Now his work across film and television is set to be celebrated in his native Ireland. Meany, arguably best known for playing Transport Chief Miles O'Brien in Star Trek The Next Generation, and later the senior engineer on all 7 seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, will be honored with the Irish Film and Television Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement. Quote, to say I was surprised when I got the news that IFTA wanted to give me this award would be an understatement. I was truly shocked. To be asked to join this long list of illustrious previous recipients is a huge honor, and I'm thrilled and looking forward to a good night in Dublin, said the actor to Variety. Now, Meany is set to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the IFTA Awards on February 14th. Past recipients of the IFTA Lifetime Achievement Award includes Stephen Ray, Deepak Chopra, Gabriel Byrne, and Dame Judi Dench. Now, Meany has also appeared in films like Die Hard 2, Far and Away, Under Siege, and Con Air, and also starred in the Emmy-nominated AMC TV series Hell on Wheels from 2011 to 2016, alongside fellow Star Trek actor Anson Mount. And now here's some more Star Wars news.
Roger, Roger.
Warwick Davis, the British star best known for his appearances in the Star Wars and Harry Potter franchises, is to be awarded the British Academy's highest honor, the BAFTA Fellowship, of recognizing those who have made an outstanding and exceptional contribution to film, the games, and television. The honor will be presented at the BAFTA Film Awards on February 16th. Davis's career began at the age of 11 as Wicket the Ewok in 1983's Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, having been selected by George Lucas himself. He would return to the universe multiple times, most recently for Star Wars 9, The Rise of Skywalker, then went on to star in Ron Howard's fantasy adventure film Willow. Regular appearances in the Harry Potter films as Professor Phileas Flitwick and 2 smaller roles would further establish Davis's place in Hollywood. Diagnosed with spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia congenita, a rare form of dwarfism, Davis has also been a passionate advocate for people with the condition that can lead and do lead full and meaningful lives, challenging societal prejudice and championing self-empowerment. He is the founder of Willow Management, an agency dedicated to representing actors under 5 feet and over 7 feet tall that today is the largest agency of its kind in the world. He was also co-founder of Little People UK, a charity that offers friendship and financial support and guidance to people with dwarfism, their families and friends, that helps build a positive future for those individuals. Meanwhile, his reduced height theater company also supports actors under 5 foot tall and helps them build careers in the screen arts. Quote, the fellowship to me embodies the spirit of inclusivity, creativity, and collaboration that BAFTA stands for. This recognition is not just about the body of work I've contributed, but also about the people who stood by me and the audiences who have made this journey worthwhile. I accept this fellowship in honor of everyone living with dwarfism and any form of difference, reminding them that our uniqueness can be our greatest accent. And Davis also went on to say that acknowledging the wonderful colleagues and friends who've worked with behind the scenes, costumers, makeup artists, camera crews, who quietly and tirelessly pour their hearts into every production. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for this incredible honor, and I look forward to continuing to champion fresh perspectives, advocate for better representation, and inspire the greatest generation of storytellers to dream big. Unquote. Now, BAFTA chair Sarah Putt said Warwick is a talented, much loved, and truly inspiring figure who has captivated audiences over many decades. From his iconic performances to his advocacy for greater inclusion and representation on and off screen, Warwick has made a remarkable impact on cinema and has been profoundly influential in fostering a more inclusive and caring society. Davis joins a starry list of BAFTA fellows including Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, Sean Connery, Elizabeth Taylor, Stanley Kubrick, Anthony Hopkins, Laurence Olivier, Judi Dench, Vanessa Redgrave, Christopher Lee, Martin Scorsese, Alan Parker, Helen Mirren, Mike Lee, Sidney Poitier, Mel Brooks, Sir Ridley Scott, Thelma Schoonmaker, Kathleen Kennedy, Ang Lee, and Sandy Powell. Later this month, Sandy Morton was given the honor. The BAFTA Film Awards ceremony will take place February 16th, with David Tennant returning to host. Game of Thrones actor Rory McCann, who played the Hound on the hit fantasy series, has joined the cast of Ahsoka Season 2, per the Hollywood Reporter. McCain is set to portray Balin Skull, replacing the late Ray Stevenson, who passed away in May of 2023. Balin, a former Jedi turned mercenary, is one of the primary antagonists of Ahsoka Season 1, working alongside Morgan Elsbeth and the Night Sisters in their search to find Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Hollywood Reporter's report notes that no director's or production start date has been given for Ahsoka Season 2. However, it was previously indicated cameras would be rolling on the Star Wars show at some point in April. It's unknown if that's still the case, but McCann's casting would indicate the creative team is gearing up to start filming in the near future. It's been almost 2 years since Star Wars Celebration 2023 brought us the news that James Mangold, director of Logan, Le Mans 66, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, is gearing up to direct a new movie set in the beloved franchise Far, Far Away. And with the Star Wars universe heading into a year in which Andor Season 2 and Visions Volume 3 are likely the only things we'll see on the screen from Disney's Lucasfilm division, fans are already looking ahead to what Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi may have in store for us. So too, it seems, is Mangold, who shared a little more info on his upcoming movie and motivations in a newly released interview. Speaking to MovieWeb ahead of the release of the Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, Mangold clarified the setting of his new Star Wars film and stressed his hopes to avoid toxic fandom discourse. His hopes by distancing his work from established canon. Quote, the Star Wars movie would be taking place 25,000 years before any established, any known Star Wars movie takes place. And it's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore and that I was inspired by as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable and you can't please anybody. After the mixed responses received by projects such as the Book of Boba Fett, The Rise of Skywalker, and most recently The Acolyte, it's clear that Mangold, who's writing Dawn of the Jedi with Andor alum Bo Willman, is ready to take Star Wars in a new direction with his contribution described by the filmmaker as an epic in the vein of Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments. Here's a little bit of more of what Mangold's cooking from the man himself, speaking to Empire at Star Wars Celebration back in 2023. Quote, we don't know just yet when we can expect Dawn of Justice to arrive in our theaters. At the time of writing, Jon Favreau's May 22, 2026 sled The Mandalorian and Grogu is set to be the next big screen addition to the Star Wars timeline, but as we brace for something of an intermission year for Kathleen Kennedy and Company going on ongoing soap opera. Every morsel of info we're getting on this Mangold movie promises an exciting new act ahead. We have a good feeling about this, according to the article. And with that, let's go on to the geek news. Geek news begins with the wildfires continuing to ravage areas of Los Angeles. Thousands have tragically lost their homes, including several Hollywood stars. The fire started Tuesday in Pacific Palisades before spreading to parts of Malibu and Santa Monica overnight. As of early Thursday, the LA Fire Department said the Palisades fire was 0% contained. Two other active wildfires in the LA area, the Eaton and Woodley fires, were also at 0% containment. The Lydia fire was 40% contained, and the Hearst fire is 10% contained, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. On Wednesday night, another fire named the Sunset Fire broke out in the Hollywood Hills, endangering the iconic landmark, the Hollywood Bowl, among other tourist designations. On Thursday morning, all evacuation orders were lifted after firefighters got the blaze under control. And later Wednesday night, a sixth fire called the Sunswept Fire broke out inside a Studio City home before spreading to nearby houses and brush. The LA Fire Department quickly contained most of the blaze. Mandy Moore, Anna Faris, Paris Hilton, Bozoma St. John, Billy Crystal, Spencer Pratt, and Heidi Montag, Carrie Elways, James Woods, Diane Warren, Cameron Matt. Let's redo that. Mandy Moore, Anna Faris, Paris Hilton, Bozoma St. John, Billy Crystal, Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag, Carrie Elways, Diane Warren, Cameron Matheson, Ricky Lake, and record producer Lou Adler are among the luminaries who have confirmed that they have lost their homes. TMZ has also reported that the homes of Adam Brody and Leighton Meester, Eugene Levy, John Goodman, and Anthony Hopkins have also burned down. Now, This Is Us star Mandy Moore shared that her Altadena home, California home was burned down in the Eaton fire. Quote, "This is Altadena leveled my sweet home." She wrote on her Instagram story, "I am devastated and gutted. For those of us who've lost so much, I'm absolutely numb." Billy Crystal and his wife Janice confirmed that the Pacific Palisades home that they've had for 5 decades was destroyed, saying, quote, "Words cannot describe the enormity of the devastation we're witnessing and experiencing. We ache for our friends and neighbors who have also lost their homes and businesses in this tragedy." Star Trek actress Denise Crosby shared that the beautiful Spanish cottage that gave her endless joy, where she met her husband and raised her son, the only house she's ever owned, and the fruit trees she grew with a garden of native plants is now ashes, and she's, quote, "truly heartbroken." Among people, there's also places that are well known. Palisades Charter High School. Palisades Charter High School, which boasts a lineup of A-list alumni, has been the locale of several TV and film projects, has been significantly damaged by the Palisades fire, which sprung up on January 7th and ballooned to 23,000 acres. In a statement posted by the school to Facebook, many places of the sprawling campus were not visible by the blaze, including most classroom buildings and gyms, as well as the baseball field, stadium, aquatic center, and lush quad. However, a significant portion, estimated at 40%, has been either damaged or destroyed. The famed campus has been home to such sets as 1976's Stephen King adaptation of Carrie with Sissy Spacek, as well as the Lindsay Lohan body swap comedy Freaky Friday, which filmed all of its classroom scenes at the school. More recently, MTV's Teen Wolf, the 2010 supernatural young adult series starring Dylan O'Brien and Tyler Posey, shot its fictional Beacon Hills high exteriors on the campus. Another high profile production was Grammy winning pop star Olivia Rodrigo's Good For You music video, which utilized some of PCHS's sports and locker facilities. Palisades High has also had several notable graduates who have gone long to have careers in Hollywood, including J.J. Abrams, Forrest Whitaker, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Will I Am, Katie Seagal, Adam Shakeman, and others. The school wrote in its announcement, quote, "We are committed to not only rebuilding our school, but also the surrounding communities that we serve. Our children are our future, and our school is their future. We cannot and will not give up on this mission. You know, my heart goes out to all those in California who have lost homes or businesses, schools, whatever. I mean, this truly does suck. And because they're using salt, they're having to use salt water from the ocean to dump on these fires. Growing stuff back is going to take a lot of work because salt is really not the friend of plant life. So when you're dumping salt water, you're literally dumping salt all over the ground. So that's going to be, you know, something a legacy that's going to be dealt with for years. On to other news. The fast dealing property training game Monopoly is starting to feel its 90th year, so it's getting a bit of a refresh to keep up with all the younger board games out there. Hasbro has announced an updated version of the classic board game, as well as new expansion packs. Yes, expansion packs for a board game that will add new twists to the classic game. Let's break some of this down. The new Monopoly will be released next month on February 10th and will include a more compact and streamlined box with a new tray to keep the bank organized, larger tokens, updated money designs, and other touches that will give the game a modern, higher quality look and feel. To make sure you're first in line for the new Monopoly, head to Amazon and reserve a copy for $19.99. You can check out the details. Let's get to those expansion packs. There will be 3 expansion packs called Go to Jail, Free Parking Jackpot, and Buy Everything. As you'll see, the following on the list, these expansion packs will add new gameplay options that put fun twists on the old rules. The Go to Jail expansion pack will be compatible with any classic version of the board game and turns the jail and go to jail into desirable locations while putting corruption and super corruption cards in those spots for extra benefits. There's also a new spot called Super Jail. Playtime is under an hour. Monopoly Free Parking Jackpot expansion switches out all free parking spaces for new spin spaces, which offer the chance of huge benefits to all who land on it. It also adds the Deal Mobile, which lets players skip out on rent and grants free properties, making its playtime around 40 minutes. And the Buy Everything expansion turns every space into a buyable space, including free parking, go, the bank, and jail. There's also a sale vault that sells game changing cards and a new game strategy, which will definitely be timing out these helpful cards. Playtime is around 40 minutes, and each of these expansions costs an extra $10. Now, while Monopoly has had many different versions for many different IPs, updates to the game itself have been sparse over the many years. Spicing up the play with new expansion packs and new look and style is supposed to freshen up the original game and hopefully bring new fans within new generations. Universal announced it has pushed back Shrek 5 to its original July 1st, 2026 slot to Universal announced that it is pushing Shrek 5 from its original July 1st, 2026 slot to December 23rd of the same year. Minions 3 will now have Shrek's original spot. The Illuminations 3 sequel was announced last year with an intended release of June 30th, 2027. And where Minions once was, a currently untitled movie from Illumination will now plant its flag on that June 2027 date after previously being locked for that March. Now, the studio didn't say why it pushed the movies back or forward. It ends up, of course, working in the Shrek and Minion favor. The Despicable Me franchise tends to do pretty well in the Independence Day season, and kids' movies have been shown to have pretty strong holiday legs. Both Shrek 5 and Minions 3 are being headed up by longtime veterans from the respective franchises. Shrek 2 co-director Conrad Vernon and Walt Dornan are storyheading Shrek 4, which will bring back the series voice trio of Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy. Puss in Boots 2 ending Antonio Banderas' swashbuckling feline may also be back, but it's unclear how or if he'll be in the feature in this film. Meanwhile, Minions 3 will be directed by Peter Coffin, who directed the first 3 Despicable Me films and voices the little yellow beasts. And writing will by Brian Lynch, who penned the original 2015 spin-off movie. And with that, we come to the end of this edition of the show. Now, please be sure to check us out on social media. We're on Blue Sky and Twitter at Multiverse Tom, Threads, Facebook, and Instagram at Multiverse Tonight. And if you've gotten some value out of the show and would like to pay it back, head on over to multiversetonight.com, where you can find our Patreon and Ko-fi links, check out our show notes, visit our TeePublic store, leave some feedback, and so much more. And if this is your first time listening, thank you and welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share us with others. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching this edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more sci-fi and comic book news. Now please, exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Fast Big Genre Productions. Copyright 2024. All rights